In this video, we're going to talk about dividing real numbers. First, some vocabulary. The inverse property of multiplication. In words, it says the product of a non-zero number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. In algebra, we would say a times 1 over a, or the inverse of a, equals the same thing as 1 over a, or the inverse of a times a equals 1. And keep in mind, a cannot be equal to 0 because you can't divide by a. An example, 8 times 1/8 would equal 1 because 8 and 1/8 are inverses. The division rule. To divide a number a by a non-zero number b, multiply a by the multiplicative inverse of b. In algebra, you write a divide b equals a times the inverse of b, or 1 over b. And keep in mind, b cannot be equal to 0 because you can't divide by 0. In example, 5 divided 2 will be the same thing as writing as 5 times 1/2. And some basic rules about the sign of a quotient. The quotient of two real numbers with the same sign is positive. The quotient of two real numbers with different signs is negative. And the quotient of 0 and any non-zero real number is 0. Example 1. It says to find the multiplicative inverse. So in part A, we're given negative 1/5, and we're being asked to find the multiplicative inverse. So my multiplicative inverse is just going to be negative 5, since negative 1/5 times negative 5 is going to give me 1. So negative 5 is the multiplicative inverse, and we're done that one. Part B, we're given negative 6/7. So if we take negative 6/7, and remember, we just always do is to find the multiplicative inverse is find the reciprocal. So that'd be negative 7/6, and negative 6/7 times negative 7/6 will give me 1. So my multiplicative inverse will be negative 7 over 6, and we are done. Example 1. Example 2, it says find the quotient. So we're dividing negative 16 divided by 4. So we can rewrite that as negative 16 times 1/4, which would be the same thing as negative 16 times 1/4 will give me negative 4, and we are done. Final solution. Next one. We're being asked to divide negative 20 and negative 5/3. That's not as nice as the last one. So we'll just rewrite it as negative 20 times negative 3 over 5. So first multiply it as negative 20 times 3 is going to be positive 60 all over 5. And 60 divided by 5, because remember this fraction bar means divide. 60 divided by 5 will give me positive 12, and that's my final answer. Example 3, temperatures. The table gives the daily minimum temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit in Barrow, Alaska for the first 5 days of February 2004. Find the mean daily temperature. So for mean, you add all the values together, divide by the total number of numbers. So this is going to be equal to, make this look a little bit better and straight, negative 21 plus negative 29 plus negative 39 plus negative 39 plus negative 22, and there's 5 days. So we add all those numbers on top together, we will get negative 150. We're going to divide it by 5. And negative 150 divided by 5 would give me negative 30. So we will just say the mean temperature is negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're done that question. And example 4 says simplify the expression 3x minus 24 all over 6. So we can rewrite this as 36x minus 24 times 1/6. And we just multiply now. 36x times 1/6 minus 24 times 1/6. 36 times 1/6 will be just 6x. And then minus 24 times 1/6 would be 4. And we are done. Final answer. Hopefully this helps you understand how to divide real numbers. I'll see you in the next video where we talk about finding square roots and comparing real numbers.